Steve Kerr is wanting the core of the Warriors to stick together. Now, I can understand the sentiment. I get that. You want Steph, you want Klay, you want Draymond, you want them to stick together and end their career together. That's not necessarily impossible because if Klay takes a huge pay cut, he can stay in Golden State. But I also think with that huge pay cut becomes a huge decrease in what his actual role is. Look, Golden State got to get younger. They got to get more athletic. And Klay doesn't, his offense doesn't outweigh what he can't do defensively anymore. Look, those injuries zapped him of what he could try to do defensively. They just did. And now that he's not scoring at the clip, that he used to, not consistently, well, now what? You can't pay that guy $25, $35, $40 million a year. You can't do that. They already just signed a bad contract with Draymond. You can't do another one on top of that. How are you going to get better? And Steve Kerr wants them to stay together. Okay, that's fine. Steve Kerr, you can want them to stay together. Doesn't mean they should. Doesn't mean they will. I like Klay Thompson. I think Klay Thompson was out of his gourd when he thought he was a top 75 player. I'm like, come on, Klay. Let's be serious. Let's be serious. You're not a top 75 guy. You're just not. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. But to want them to all stay together, I think it's commendable. But Steve Kerr's living in a fairy tale if he believes that Klay Thompson is the same guy that he was before. He's living in a fairy tale land. And honestly, I don't even believe that he thinks that. So I don't think he believes that. So, yes, this is a great point.
This is the 1983
Steve Kerr
All-Star
is scared to coach without those three. He's never had to do it, so he doesn't necessarily know what to do. He's always had Klay, Steph, and Draymond. He's never had to rebuild. Well, if you've never had to rebuild, he doesn't know how to do it. So he doesn't know how to do it. He's never had to coach a team that wasn't ready-made to win. Great point, but here by my man Sideshow says Kerr is out of there after next year. I don't disagree. He signed an extension. I think he's got 2 more years. I think he's only going to be there 1. And I think Steve Kerr is going to call it a day. I think he's going to call it a day. I think he is done coaching, at least in Golden State. Steph will be 37 years old next year. Now, he didn't show any signs of slowing down. Steph's game's not predicated on spectacular athletic ability. He still gets to his spots, but he's not out athleticing anybody. That's never been his game. So he can still play. Klay Thompson can't do the same things that he used to. And Draymond, if you're relying on Draymond to get you 10 to 15 points a game, your team is terrible because, number one, he's not going to be able to do that. That's number one. And number two, it's just he's not that good offensively, scoring-wise, that is, to be able to keep that up. So I like – they just got to start over. At what point do you say, okay, we got to start over? I think they have young pieces. They just got to give those guys more minutes. And I know what it is. Steve Kerr doesn't want to put Klay Thompson on the bench and say, look, Klay, your role is going to be 18 to 19 minutes a game. Basically, the Russell Westbrook role. We want you to come in and have a ton of offense, be ultra aggressive with the second unit, but you're only going to get 18 to 19 minutes a game, man. We got to get these other guys on the court. They're athletic. They can defend. They can score. They can do more things now than what you can do. We still value you. We still want you to be a part of this, but the days of you getting 35 minutes a night are over. 18 to 19 minutes. You're coming off the bench again, and Klay should want that role. He should value that role. He should say, you know what? I can come off in this second unit, and all I got to do is shoot. That's all I get to do. I come off and just be ultra aggressive and just shoot the basketball. He should want that role. And there's going to be nights where Klay Thompson gets on a roll and he does get 30 minutes and he throws in 33 points. There's going to be those nights. He's just not capable of stringing them together like he used to. And there's nothing wrong with that. So if Steve Kerr wants to keep the core unit together, okay, you can do that. But Klay Thompson has to take a back seat. That's the only way this is going to work. Because if not, they're going to be in the same spot that they were this year or next year that they were this year. They're going to be in the exact same spot on the outside looking in when it comes to the playoffs. So that's my feelings on all of that. I like the Warriors, but the Warriors got to start over. They got to start over.